Well, it's your main man Anil coming live once again for Immunity for the Community podcast. How is everybody doing? How are you all feeling this weekend? It's Christmas Eve, everybody, and I just want to say from my heart to yours, I wish you a Merry Christmas tomorrow. I wish you to have a wonderful Christmas holiday. It is going to be great for me as well. I hope it's going to be a great Christmas holiday for you, celebrating all those wins, celebrating another year alive, another year to be grateful for. I hope you feel exactly the same way that I do. But today's podcast is going to be talking about feeding your mindset, staying fit over the Christmas holidays, and the power of manifestation and goal setting, and what you need to be doing this Christmas holiday so that you can set yourself up for a great 2023. So, I want to talk to you about feeding your mindset. Now, a lot of what I do, I talk about feeding the body, I talk about feeding, your growth mindset, but really, it's all coming down to how you can feed your mind every day. What you need to do is learn something, at least learn one new thing each day. If that's by reading, if that's by taking action, if that's by learning a new hobby, if that's by actually learning about fitness, these are ways that you can make those distinct differences and become that 1% who really push through. Because I learned such an important lesson in the value of time. I can call upon my experience of, you know, self development was that I reached a point where I got tired of watching the TV, and I said, I'm going to turn off the television and I'm going to turn on my vision. So, what does that mean? Well, I'll tell you what that means. Every day you are feeding your mindset. Whatever you put in here is exactly what you will reciprocate. So, what you don't want to do is put garbage in here and reciprocate garbage and regurgitate crap. You want to put in things that will cause your mind to grow and expand and learn new concepts, new ways of thinking, new ways of feeling, things that you are not aware of necessarily until you read something from someone such as T.D. Jakes or Tony Robbins or Ed Milet, or even listening to a podcast of somebody that you are very much inspired by. I was listening to a podcast from somebody who I was definitely inspired by, and this is Harpreet Kaur of The Apprentice. And she's the first South Asian lady. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she's the first South Asian woman who won the apprenticeship, and she had such drive, such determination, and I was very much impressed and inspired by her. I thought, what an amazing woman, what an amazing person. She just came up from nothing. Another South Asian member of our community from Birmingham originally grew up north in Leeds and made something successful of her own business. Now, as a business owner, I look at that and I take a lot of pride, and I'm like, wow, if somebody else can do this and, has had such a successful career and is now thriving working for Alan Sugar, then it's possible for me too. Not to say I'm going to work for Alan Sugar, but you get what I'm saying. So the power of mindset is so important in these times. What I think you must do to stay in shape over Christmas is continue with your patterns, continue with your good routines and habits. And I'm going to walk you through what you must do to stay fit over Christmas. Take some break from the day-to-day activities, but how you can actually feed your mindset so you still upskill while you're relaxing. So what I will say is this: I would recommend you take the Christmas week off from the gym. And here's why: because you've been pushing very hard this year for your goals, you've been giving it your all, and I think it's time for you to celebrate and accept yourself. It's time for you to celebrate and appreciate yourself. I myself am very grateful for making it this far. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say from my heart to yours, I'm so grateful for everybody's support. I'm going to give a big shout out to my friend Sunit, who might be watching this podcast, but he's a good friend of mine as well. A big shout out to him because he's always, checking in and seeing how I'm doing. But honestly, I want to say a big shout out to anybody who checked in on me this year, because I made it and I'm very much happy to have made it. And I'm going to give myself this next week off the gym so that I can hit 23 with the greatest of energy, best abundance, so much good luck, and bringing in that positive energy and putting that positive energy back out there with great ideas. And you're going to see a rebrand of the Write Your Own Story transformation course, which I'm going to sort out and I'm going to relaunch in the new year now that I'm back to my absolute best. But ladies and gentlemen, this is what I'm saying. It is important for you to take this week off so that you can appreciate yourself and start doing that personal development. Reassess your goals. What are your goals for 2023? Are you trying to get into shape right away? Are you trying to get rid of that stubborn fat? Well, who better than Mr. Immunity for the Community? Are you tired of that old limiting belief system that keeps you going back to the same old chippy but doesn't put you into the gym? Well, it's time to meet Mr. Immunity for the Community, because I'm the man that can get you there. I can get you out of a chippy and back into the weights room, hitting weights like Ja Rule and clap back. Like, that's how I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you in warrior mode, like clap back, push-ups, war paint, sweat on the floor, pumping iron. Like, I'm going to get you there. I will get you to that. I am the original comeback man. No one else can dispute that. I am the undisputed comeback man, and that's what I can do for you in 2023. So this is what I'm saying. You want to be able to take a step back, look at what you've achieved, and congratulate yourself and be like, I wanted that at the start of this year. I'm going to congratulate myself. And what I mean is that you can actually have a piece of cake, have some indulgences, have a little bit of what you want, because this is your week off after a long year of working so hard. This is your week off after yet another year of things going on, what's been going on with COVID recurring and this and that. And it's important to give yourself that gratitude and that appreciation and that self-love. So what I would say is, take a step back, write down what you aimed to achieve at the start of the year, look at what you did achieve this year, tick it off, and then if you didn't achieve it, start to look at what are the steps to bridge that gap, because that's something that I always do. And I can bridge the gap by many different methods, but there's a few methods that generally tend to work for me. And that's through looking at where I want to get to, where I am right now, and then actually listing out the resources and the time that I would need in order to achieve that goal. So that would be, if I'm pushing for another goal, do I need to take more action? Do I need to put in more steps in order to make this happen? Do I need to make more time for it? Do I need to now do my preparation as net time? Do I need to do my meal prep as net time? Do I need to do my preparation for the work week ahead as net time? Do I need to listen to a podcast to learn something to change my mindset to make it happen? Do I need to lift extra weights? Do I need to go for an extra walk? Do I need to assess my gym routine and tweak it slightly to achieve a better outcome? Do I need to change the way that I'm eating? Do I need to change exactly what type of food I'm eating? Do I need to change my routines? Do I need to change what I'm having in the morning? Do I need to have celery juice still, or do I need to drop that and just have lemon juice? These are the little steps and the little 1 millimeter shifts that I will make in order to achieve my goal. And that's what you need to do. You need to look at those goals and see, what was the gap? How can I bridge that gap in 2022? What have I learned from not achieving it? Because there is no failure, ladies and gentlemen. You either win or you learn. You never fail. You only win or you learn. And every learning is like fight IQ. You're going to go in there with fight IQ. Why do you think I am that good at overcoming and coming back from situations? And that's not to big myself up, but why do you think I am that resilient? I am resilient because I've overcome situations before, and I've gone into gratitude and grace that I've made it past that, and I've grown and expanded beyond it through the help of work from the likes of Tony Robbins, the likes of Ed Milet, the likes of Joseph McClendon. So many positive role models that I've learnt from over the years, who've taught me about coming back and getting back and going beyond where you were before. That's why I've managed to move out to Warsaw. And this is not for me to go off track. This is to say, every learning builds resilience. So even the goals that you may have not hit this year, don't be hard on yourself. Look at that as you've got fight IQ. And when you step in that ring next year, you're going to get it, baby. You're going to hit the jackpot. That's what's going to happen. I know you got this. But, that's what you got to look at it. You've got to look at it in that respect, that is the power of assessing your goals. Now, what I tend to do at this time of year is I will start writing my next set of goals and actually start looking at the actions that I need to take in order to achieve them. And that's what I would recommend for you. In terms of daily habits, I would say take the week off the gym to assess, where you are and where you want to go. But I would also say keep getting up on time, because what that will do is you'll get up on time. You may not be going to work, but to actually you'll be able to actually keep on going in that same momentum. And instead of you clocking into work and then coming home and tired and not remembering what you need to do, you'll actually have that time to focus on yourself and really hone in on what you need to do in terms of personal development. What habits do you want to bring in now? How do you want to change your behaviors and your mindset in order to achieve the next goal? So for me, I'm still going to get up on time, let's say 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm still going to focus on my goals. I'm not just going to keep eating and going in until midnight and then just Netflix binging and then waking up the next day doing the same thing. What we do is that we wire ourselves with our habits. So if we keep wiring ourselves with, we're just going to Netflix binge over and over again, and we don't value ourselves, then we don't get up on time, and it becomes a negative cycle. So you have to create an empowering cycle of self-respect and showing up for yourself. Don't wait until January 3rd when it's time to go back to work, because there's a lot of people that, other people who will just show up then having caned off everything, you name it, no routine, odd timing, and the minute they get back to getting up at 6 in the morning, they're going to be done. They will not know how to get back into the rhythm. It takes people time to get back into the rhythm after Christmas. Better to stay in the rhythm of getting up on time and eating in a good routine, as opposed to being all over the shop and then living like a student frat boy and then waking up like, oh, it's back to reality again, and needing 3 coffees. You don't want to do that. You want to stay in a good habit. This is one thing that I learned from my own mistakes, was that I would do this in university. I would binge, have anything and everything I want, gorge, and then I come back 10 pounds heavy and I'm like, oh, why did I do that? I'm out of whack. And it would take me until February to get back into normal sort of routine. And you don't want to do that, because what happens in the week over Christmas is people, they let their standard go. What I would recommend is you get up on time, if not 6 o'clock, 7 or 8, and stay in that routine of eating breakfast, lunch, dinner at the right times. Because if you eat at those right times and you keep eating mostly healthy stuff, healthy foods, such as, let's say you wake up in the morning, you have your porridge with your vegan protein, walnuts and chia seeds, mixed seeds, and you have your celery juice, your green celery juice, alongside your lemon water. You have all those things in the morning with your cup of tea and coffee an hour later, and then you have a healthy lunch, which is a sandwich with salad, tomatoes, cucumbers, mixed rocket salad, could be sweet corn, could also be mixed veg, let's say, and that goes with your sandwich and your vegetarian protein, or whichever protein you prefer. And then you have your dinner, which is a healthy roast dinner of I tend to have a vegan protein with broccoli, carrots, potato wedges. You have that at 5 o'clock. You have that window between, let's say, 12 and 5 to 6 o'clock, where you can have a little bit of what you want at 3 o'clock. You can have some Doritos there, a little bit of what you want. You may be able to have a little cake, a slice of cake. You'll be able to have that gift that somebody gave you at work without sabotaging your diet all the way, because at the end of the day, you have the energy that you have from eating healthy over and over again. So it's become a trained habit. So in that week of Christmas, a lot of people, they just totally swap out the breakfast for pancakes, and then in the lunchtime they're on Pizza Hut, and then on this and that. You don't want to do that. You want to keep good habits at every single time. Stick to your main foods. Stick to the main food groups that have worked and have been successful for you in staying in shape up until now, and give yourself a little bit of what you want. Have that cake at a meal time. If you've woke up super early at 10 o'clock, let's say, if you woke up at 7 and you had your breakfast 7:30 and you want a little bit of a treat, have that cake at 10. And then, if you want another treat later on, have it at 2 or 3. Space it out. If you space it out, then you don't feel bloated, and then you don't gain lots and lots of weight. You tend to gain more weight when you keep eating the wrong foods at every single meal time, as opposed to one meal time you have a treat. You never gain lots of weight when you have you know, one cookie at 3 o'clock. You gain lots of weight when you keep having them over and over and over and over again. And that's the power of nutrition. What we train ourselves to consume, mentally and physically, we get more of. So you need to make sure that you just keep you keep your diet reasonable within that time frame. And here's another thing I want to talk through with you about staying fit over Christmas. Stay mentally fit as well. Stay meditating. It's very easy to feel that we're in the Christmas spirit right now. We're happy. Yay, 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 yay. And it's good. Like, we're all happy. I've gone to my Christmas do. I had a great time with my friends. It was like partying all over again. And we're all going to our Christmas do's. And I would encourage everybody, live it up, have fun, just let go and relax. I'm totally saying enjoy yourself. You've worked very hard, but also meditate so that you can feel that relaxation, because what meditation does is it gets you out of those morning nerves. So you're not going to wake up and just feel groggy and stay feeling groggy and just like, and off. Meditation calibrates you, gets you out of your head, gets your mind out of that fog, and you wake up, you're aligned, you're centered, you're relaxed, and you come out of that meditation better than where you were before the meditation. And what it does is it sets you up for the day. So if you aimed for a goal to read a book today and you just woke up and you got a bit of mind fog, meditating will get rid of that mind fog so that you will read that book and follow through on it. That's what it does. It gets you to follow through on exactly what you want to do with your day. It gets you to align yourself to your goals. And when you use meditation over and over again, eventually it aligns your energies just to go towards your goals. That's where I've got to in my energies. I've got to a place where I can let go of the stress of the day, and I know what my agenda is for tomorrow, and I'm going to follow through on it. And it doesn't feel intimidating when I actually do meditation and priming, because the way that we prime is that we visualize it happening. And this is the next thing that I want to talk through about the power of continuously meditating. Meditation enforces your self-belief as well. It helps to reinforce that. Now, what do I do with the Tony Robbins priming? What I do with that is I visualize every step of the way, all the way up to me achieving the goal. That way, when I start taking action, it doesn't feel so overwhelming, because a lot of people find when they're going for the big goal, there's a lot of mini steps along the way, and you have to become friends with the unknown. That is what mindset is all about, becoming friends with the unknown, making that little shift when you're not noticing what you're not getting, and then changing it to get what you want, and changing it to get to a positive outcome. And a lot of people, they see the mini steps and they get intimidated by the 20 mini steps up to the big goal. But what I do with priming is I visualize every little mini step as well as the final goal. That way, when I visualize the grunt work, when I visualize that I'm actually, let's say like one of my goals is to move out, I visualize myself looking, I visualize myself looking at the house, I visualize myself going to the viewing, I visualize myself being there, I visualize myself getting the phone call, you got it, I visualize myself going, yes, I visualize myself driving off into the distance, into the sunset, and I visualize myself sitting in my house, happy, proud and successful that what I put my mind to happened. And that's how you can use priming for yourself. And the same could go for fitness. A lot of people feel like walking into the gym is quite a big thing for them because it's the first time that they've done it. But if you can visualize yourself being there in that environment, you become friends with it. You don't get so intimidated by it. You don't look at the gym like it's this scary thing that you have to do and it's going to take a long time. You trust the process. The one reason why I've got into shape and stayed into shape is because I actually stopped taking as many progress photos. I take one progress photo every so often, maybe once every 6 months, once every few months, because I don't want to keep on taking progress photos over and over again each day, expecting too much, because that's where you fall down. You fall down when you do too much of that. And when you do too much of that in a short space of time, you put more pressure on yourself, which means that you're less likely to follow through. What you want to do is take a progress photo every month, take one every 2 months from all the different angles, keep on your path of focusing on the gym and fitness. Stay focused on pushing through, lifting the weights, the whole regime. Keep on focused on it, and then take your photos after that 2 month window. After you take those photos after 2 months have passed, then you'll see the differences. When you start taking photos every day, that's when it becomes a problem. You want to take selfies, of course that's normal, but it's just you gotta give yourself that time and that distance, and that's what the power of mindset is. And the power of manifestation is such that you could be sat here right now relaxing on your Christmas holiday, but you could also be visualizing and manifesting the goals that you want to happen in the new year as if they've already happened. And so when you visualize them as already happened, when you live in the present, you don't feel like it's too far away from you. You feel like it's in your heart. When you feel like it's in your heart and you can see all the moments that you're grateful for, you are very likely to make that happen. You're going to find every resource around you to make that goal happen. And that is why I prime, and that is why I strongly recommend meditation throughout the Christmas holiday, because what it's going to give you, it's going to give you that self-belief to make every one of your goals happen. I'm going to go to a very special event in February, and I'm going to visualize myself being there, because that's what's going to hold me accountable. I'm going to visualize myself booking the tickets. I've already booked them, but I'm going to visualize myself booking the hotel. I'm going to visualize myself on the train. I'm going to visualize myself talking to people. I'm going to visualize myself being happy. I'm going to visualize myself being in the crowd. That's what I'm going to do. That's the level that you can prime. If you can keep priming in that direction, you could literally prime to a point where you can visualize yourself in a scene as if it's actually happening right now, even though it is yet to happen. That is the power of manifestation. You can make any positive picture in your mind if you train it in. It does take some work, it does take some time, ladies and gentlemen, and it does take resolving and closing other things. And you do need a clear head in order to do that, of course. I'm just making these recommendations because I've noticed that recently with the new moon, my energy has dropped a little bit, but I've managed to pick it up with meditation. So, this is what I'm saying. The power of manifestation is so immense that you can get to goals which you could not even think were possible. But you've seen it you've seen it before with your own eyes. You've done it. I'm no doubt everybody here watching this podcast has also gone for a goal before. If you put your mind to it, you can do it. But if you put your subconscious mind to it, you can really believe in it. And let me tell you, 80% of achieving a goal is self-belief. The other 20% is mechanics, and that's what I've learned from Tony Robbins. So what you got to do is you got to shut off the how and turn on the why. Your why has to be stronger than your how. You got to know how to do it, but you got to have a big why of why do you want this? Why do you want to be in shape in 2023? Why do you want to change your body? Are you fed up of having the same old feelings about your body? Are you fed up of the same old feelings of being low, tired, angry, depressed? If so, that's why you want to change it, because it's the right time now. And you can change at any given moment. You don't have to change in the new year. But this is what I'm saying. You can change in any given moment with the power of manifestation. It is something that can keep on pouring into you over and over again and change you into somebody with the healing power that it has. I have literally healed things inside of myself with the power of manifestation, through the power of meditation and letting go of blocks. That is the power of meditation. It has so many healing powers, so many healing abilities. And what you'll find is you'll find more self-belief the more and more you do it. You believe more and more in yourself. Each time you push through, each time you go for the next goal, each time you crack through that next one, that next one, that next one, you keep going for it. You keep believing in yourself. That's how I got to where I am today. It's because I kept pushing through, believing in myself. And that's what I want everybody on here to understand. I'm here to inspire and to motivate so many great souls, so many great people, so many people out there who have lost their way, lost direction, don't know where they want to go next, have given up on their fitness journey. I'm not going to allow that over here at Immunity for the Community. We fight back, and we fight back strong, and we have courage and we have strength over here. And as Mr. Immunity for the Community, as somebody has come back and lost a lot of weight, transmuted the energy and become physically very in shape. I can tell you in 2023, I can be the guy that can make you go from A to Z. I can get you from out of shape to living and loving life. And the best part about what I do here at Immunity for the Community is I'm going to get you to a place where you're not overthinking about the gym either. You're going in there, you're loving it, you're enjoying it, but you also love yourself. And that's the difference between me and any other fitness ambassador. Now, not to say having passion about the gym is a bad thing, but I'm not going to get you to over obsess about it. You're going to go into the gym, you're going to love the process of getting in shape, and then you're going to also love yourself and focus on your goals and align yourself towards them and understand your values as a person and bring value to yourself so that you can go out there and be the best version of you. That is what I am about here at Immunity for the Community. It has been a great pleasure serving all the great people here watching. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have an amazing Merry Christmas. Everybody, it's been a fantastic year. I just want to say thank you for all of your support in 2022. This is my last podcast of the year. I'll be coming back strong in 2023 with a new Immunity for the Community podcast talking about the course. As I would say, everybody, channel your inner Rocky. See you later. Enjoy Merry Christmas and see you in the new year. Have a great weekend.